Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Inside Guns with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. Today I want to address some people who really took some exception to something I said in a video yesterday, which that is not unusual. I'm not someone who tempers what I say with what you want to hear. Let's just say that. I don't say something just because I think you want to hear it. I say what I think and what I think is right. I try not to be hypocritical. But what I said made some people mad and I want to address them. Now I had to decide which group of people do I want to address because I made two very different groups of people very angry. I made the bloodthirsty mob who basically wants Kyle Rittenhouse to get the death penalty or at least life imprisonment for, from what I can see, committing no real crimes that would have ever warranted that. The people that are willing to sacrifice the life of basically a kid just so that they can post memes on Facebook about it. And the people on the other side that for some reason think, oh my God, he's a hero, he's a patriot, he's my boy, I love him, oh my God, Kyle Rittenhouse. I decided to address the bloodthirsty people because I understand bloodthirsty, that's human nature. The other people, the ones on the other side, he's a hero, that whole desire to validate your own fears and to justify your own prejudices by seeking out a messiah, that is just too sad to deal with, so I'm not addressing those people. But I want to address the people who say, oh, he should have been found guilty for murder just because he went there, and if he went there, that meant he was looking for trouble. That's not true. And that's not the legal requirement here. That's not what you have to prove legally. You don't have to prove that he just shouldn't have been there. We all do things we shouldn't do. We all make dumb decisions. That doesn't mean everybody has to agree with them. I paid full MSRP for a Mustang. That's a stupid decision, but it's something I decided to do. I don't deserve the death penalty for it, that's for sure. Maybe a year or two in prison, but not the death penalty. Like I was saying, you have to remember, in this case, it doesn't matter whether you like that he was there with a gun or that you thought he should be there. What matters is you have to show that he hurt someone that was not trying to hurt him first, therefore he wasn't defending himself. Or you have to prove he went there and intentionally created the situation so that he could defend himself. And there's been no proof of that. None. Now, I'm not saying it couldn't be proven. If the prosecution had got there and said, here's an email from Kyle to his best friend saying, hey, tonight we're going to go there. And what we're going to do is we're going to separate. And then I'm going to run around waiting for people to attack me. And then when someone attacks me, we'll start shooting. Well, that would have been proof that he went there with the wrong intent, that he was trying to cause trouble. But that didn't happen. The defense proved that the prosecution had no evidence of any wrongdoing, period. So you can't hope for a boy to pay the price just because of your principles. You don't know what his intentions were. And everything I have seen, and I'm a cynical person, makes me believe he was there for what he thought were good reasons. He thought he was the white hat. He didn't think things through like, what if someone attacks me? Blah, blah, blah. He's 17 years old. I don't know about you, but I remember when I was 17, I didn't always think everything through. So I have no reason to doubt that he didn't have good intentions. And I saw no proof that he had ill intentions. And that's what you would have to show for a conviction. You don't just show that, well, it could have been, or it was bad judgment to be there. That's not illegal. The only thing illegal that I saw that he engaged in, like I said, was a straw purchase. And he was the minor involved in the straw purchase. An adult facilitated it. That should be the person paying the price. I don't even believe that there should be prohibited people other than age. So he's one of the few people I would have agreed with being prohibited. Because I believe if you're above age and a free citizen, you should have a right to own a gun. So straw purchase shouldn't even be a thing for any non-incarcerated person who's of age, but he wasn't of age, so I can't even take real offense at the straw purchase there being a charge. But as far as the murders, etc., there's no evidence that he committed any crimes. And there's tons of evidence he was defending himself. So if you accept that someone has a right to defend themselves, the only way you could make him guilty is if he went there with the intention to create the situation. That would take a lot of evidence to show. The prosecution had zero evidence. So if you support the American court systems, Even if you don't like Kyle Rittenhouse and you don't think he's a good person and you don't think he was there for the right reasons, you still have to recognize that the prosecution did not show any intent, ill intent. There's every reason to believe from all the evidence that was shown that he was there for what he considered to be the right reasons and had no intention of hurting anyone. Most anyone who carries a gun never wants to have to hurt anyone with it. Any reasonable person, because we know even if we're on the right, it's going to be a hassle, most likely. And plus, who wants to hurt someone? I don't know very many people that actually get pleasure from hurting people. I know I don't, and I know most people I know don't. But like I'm saying, if you support the way the court system's supposed to work, you should have no choice here but to acquit, because there's no evidence. There's tons of evidence that he defended himself. So the evidence you would need to show that he created the situation where he defended himself, that would be you'd have to have some very specific information, and none of it exists. So you have to support acquittal, even if you don't like him and you think he did do that. If you can't prove it, he shouldn't be found guilty of it. We don't want to support a court system that gets people and finds them guilty even with no evidence just because they think they probably did it. That's not how the law works, and you shouldn't hope for that. And plus, this is a kid whose life you're playing with. Now, someone in the comments section said, defending Kyle Rittenhouse, they said, well, that'd be like, he was defending himself. If a black man showed up and walked in the doors of a KKK meeting with an AR and they attacked him and he shot him, well, that's still self-defense and he's not going to be in any trouble. That's a bad example because that guy would probably still go to jail, because it would be very easy for a prosecution to show any reasonable person who was at that KKK meeting who saw a black guy with an AR walk in the front door, they're thinking, this guy's here to kill me, and therefore I better attack him first if I'm going to have any chance of living. So it's not going to be hard to convince a jury that he went there for the reason of having people attack him, because most reasonable people would in that situation, and he wanted to kill people. Now, if he went in there concealed carrying and just sat down in a pew or wherever, because these things are often in churches, sat down in a pew and just sat there and people came up and started hassling him and they attacked him and he shot them, then he's innocent. Then it's self-defense. If he intentionally provoked in a way that couldn't be seen as anything other than provoking, then he'd have legal problem. But here's the thing. Kyle Rittenhouse didn't do something that has no other reason other than to provoke. He went there to protect and to give aid. That's something that was reasonable there. That wouldn't be reasonable, a black man walking into a church. Just because someone is wrong, like you might think Kyle Rittenhouse was wrong to be there, doesn't mean that they're liable or that they committed any crimes. Even if he was committing a crime by possessing the rifle, straw purchasing to get the rifle, that doesn't mean the self-defense case is invalid. It's just like, I like to use an example here locally. People in Washington can open carry. You can't conceal carry without a license. So a lot of people who come here have to open carry, like people that come here to see me, etc. They open carry because they can't conceal without a license from Washington. Also in Washington, you can't go into a bar with a gun. So let's say someone who came to visit me, they're going to leave town, they decide to stop to get a Coke or just use the bathroom, whatever, at a bar. And they walk in, and as soon as they walk in, they walk up to the bar and go, hey, can I have a Coke and a to-go cup or whatever? Or even a beer, as long as they're drinking responsibly. I don't care if they're drinking responsibly and they're armed. That's one thing. If they drink irresponsibly, deal with that. But if they're drinking responsibly, that's fine. But that's off topic. And then people run up to him and go, "You've got a gun in here. You're obviously going to kill us." And they break a beer bottle and go at him, and he shoots them. Well, that's self-defense because he didn't do anything to antagonize that person. You might say, well, they had a right to believe that he was there in danger because he's not allowed to carry that gun in there. Yeah, but he wasn't doing anything threatening to them. No reasonable person would react like that just to the sight of a gun. So that would be kind of like what Kyle Rittenhouse situation is. My friend who walks into the bar open carrying because he didn't know he's not supposed to in there, and he thought he was just going to go in and get a Coke and support a local business. He finds out, oh, I'm not supposed to carry in here. This is against the law. Oh, it aggravated some people and they attacked me. That doesn't make him a bad guy. He didn't intend to stop in there so someone would attack him and he could shoot them. Someone else made the bad decision. Just because this guy did something that they don't agree with or might even technically be illegal, it doesn't give them the right to take the law into their own hands and harm someone who would not reasonably have harmed them had they not taken action. So that's kind of what I relate it to. With Kyle Rittenhouse, you can say, my friend made a mistake going into that bar with a gun, but that doesn't mean he didn't have a right to defend himself just because he was in the wrong, violating some county statute or something, or state law. He made a mistake, but he didn't try to harm anyone, and the people there had no right to try to harm him. Same thing with Kyle Rittenhouse. You might not agree with why he's there. You might think him being there was a really bad judgment. You might think that him being there, he's even committing some crimes. But that doesn't mean he was there to harm anybody, and anyone that takes it upon themselves to harm him, they deserve what they get when he defends himself. And that's really the only logical way to see it. So whether you agree or you don't agree about whether he's guilty or innocent of anything, you should agree that there's no proof of it. It doesn't look like it would make any sense that he would be there to hurt anybody. So why in the world would you want this kid to suffer for something he didn't do? All right, everybody, we are out of time. We're over time, actually, because I rambled too much there. But before I go, I do want to remind everybody of two things. One, I want to remind them we're doing Toys for Tots. So if you haven't donated and you want to, go on over there and donate. We are giving away the 2 guns. We're giving away the SIG AXG P320 Scorpion. We're giving away the Kimber R7 Mako, and we're giving away a silver bullet. So go on over, donate, be registered to win one of those. You get an entry for every $10 you donate. 1 entry for every $10. Also, I want to remind everyone, if you're one of the people that took exception to things I said during that last video, don't do the little unsubbed, because you're going to get blocked if you say unsubbed, because I'm just going to see another whiny little bitch. And there seems to be so many of those in the gun community. So many whiny little pussies. Because when you ask them, hey, come on the show, tell me where I'm wrong, they aren't man enough. But here's the thing. If you are man enough, just send me an email to Slap the Yank. Just put that in the subject line. Slap the Yank. Send it to shootingleftofcenter@gmail.com. You can come in, have airtime to say whatever you want to say. If you're man enough. Very few of you have been. Most of you out there, just don't care to argue one way or the other. But the ones of you who want to make spectacles in the comment section, be a man. Come on in. All you got to do is come to one of our live chats any evening. They're 6 p.m. every day of the week, except for Mondays and Wednesdays when they're at 5 p.m. And this is all Pacific times, West Coast times. So come on in. Just let me know you want to come on the chat. Tell me what you disagree with me about. Be a man. Take a chance to speak. Don't just be a keyboard warrior, because nobody has respect for those. There's millions of those, and they're just sad more than anything. So if you got something to say, be a man, come in and say it. Don't be like the other gun channels. They're all pussies and cowards. They won't say anything unless they're preaching to people that they know are going to believe everything they say, or if they're talking to other fellow bullshitters who just are trying to toe the line. That's the only time they have the balls to say anything. If they're actually confronting someone who has a different opinion, they ain't got the balls to do that, because they know they are hollow and their arguments are hollow. So if you're not like that, come on in, like I said, Slap the Yank, tell me what I'm wrong about. All right, everybody, that's our show for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you come back again tomorrow, where I'll try to make it a little shorter. But until then, I just want to remind everyone, always carry and stay safe. All right, everybody, that's our show for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you come back again tomorrow, where I'll hopefully make it a little bit shorter. But until then, I just want to say to everyone, remember, always carry and stay safe until I see you again.